Hello brilliant jewelry community, today we're going to model an Art Nouveau pendant. I have tested Blender 5, but we're going to stay in Blender 4.4 for a while. The main reason is that the screencast to get the key strokes on the screen doesn't work in earlier versions of Blender 5. Let's get started. Let's Google and download your favorite image of a ginkgo leaf. These leaves are some of the prettiest in this universe. So we are going to use them in our design. Drag and drop your image in Blender and adapt the orientation if necessary. Go to Add Mesh Plane, go to Edit Mode, erase all these vertices, and start following the shape of your leaf. Extrude, 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 and extrude. At the end, close with F. Save already and be happy already. Now select all the vertices with A, select a vertex in white, and go to Face, Grid Fill. Now the game will be to find the correct span and offset. And yet I will have to make some corrections by hand to clean the topology. This is the cleaning process. Remember to always make quads to live a long and happy life. And the result is a nice clean topology. Exit Edit Mode. Save. Now select the reference image and the leaf, and we're going to scale the leaf so the X dimension is 20 millimeters. Control A, apply the scale. Add a solidify modifier, thickness 1. If this happens, go to Edit Mode, select everything, check the normals. Then add a bevel modifier and a subdivision surface modifier, Level 3. It's also time to correct any sharp corners that you don't like by delicately adjusting the position of the vertices to get a perfect smooth shape. Exit Edit Mode, save, and be happy. Now we're going to create some lines to make some details on the leaves. To do that, add Mesh Plane, go to Edit Mode, erase these vertices. We're going to start here near the border, and we're going to follow this border. And we're going to go past it. Now I'm going to do the same here on the other border. And I'm also going to pass it like this. Now we need to check that we have the same amount of vertices for each line. To do that, exit Edit Mode, turn on the statistics, go back to Edit Mode, select the line. Here I have 24 vertices on one side against 22. This segment, subdivide, and let's extrude one more here. Now I'm going to draw one more line in the middle, and here also I will need my 24 vertices here. So create your middle line. Now I need many lines to cover the leaf. Select everything with A and go to Bridge Edge Loops. We're going to use the blend surface interpolation. The amount of cuts, let's start at 40, and here we're going to adapt the smoothness, and maybe there I'm going to use the proportional editing to slightly readapt this side there. Good. Now here, I don't want all these edges. I just want the lines. And luckily, we don't have to pick them one by one. We still have to pick some. Maybe this one, that one. Then we need to go to Select, Loops, Edge, Rings. And we're going to delete these edges. And obviously we can select the entire range of rings, select loops, edge rings, delete edges. And so we keep our lines. Exit Edit Mode, save, and be happy. So this is a mesh. We're going to make a copy and we're going to go to Object, Convert to Curve. And then in Data, we're going to go to Bevel, Round, and we're going to search for a nice depth or thickness. Let's give it a nice resolution and fill the caps. Then in Edit Mode, we're going to bring this to touching the surface of our leaf. And then we're going to go to Curve, set Spline Type to Bezier. Now here we're going to go to V to set the handle type to Automatic to get smoother curves. Now the automatic part of the job is done, and now what we need to do is delete and adapt everything that goes out of the leaf. So we'll have to delete vertices and readapt the endings. Then also we'll make the endings go inside the leaf beautifully like this. Let's get to work. don't forget to lower the control points near the stem. Exit edit mode, save, and be happy. Now let's go to top view, add curve, bezier curve. Let's go to edit mode, erase this, and we're going to create a small profile like this. We're going to scale it, and now we're going to set it to our details. So let's go to bevel, object, and select the new profile. Now in edit mode, select everything and readapt the position and shape of the profile to better suit your design. You will clearly see the difference, and from here we'll make the final tweaks to the curves for these details. Let's get to work. And then also, if you add a taper curve, you can fine tweak the endings and the details of the details. Now I'm going to take the mesh of the leaf. I'm going to make another copy. I'm just going to keep the outer shape. Now I'm going to separate this segment. I'm going to extrude, check the normals. I'm going to remove the solidify modifier to create custom borders. Great, so this is the result. Pretty nice, but we still have a problem. This is way too flat to be an interesting jewelry design. We're going to use the lattice modifier to give it a proper 3D modeling. I'm going to select the leaf, make a copy, convert to mesh, join the elements. I'm going to check the face count. This was a high resolution modeling. So we need to decimate this geometry. Let's try a 10% ratio. We went from 7 millions to around 1 million. That's great for now. Let's apply the decimate modifier. So here we're going to add a lattice. We're going to scale it to our leaf. Now let's add more subdivisions. This might be enough or not. You'll have to test it. So now the leaf is going to get the lattice deform modifier, and we're going to select our lattice. Save before making any modification so you can reverse if things go wrong. Save and be happy. So now we need to select the lattice and go to edit mode on the lattice. Now we can select points of the lattice and make very welcome deformations. We can also rotate, and we can also use the proportional editing. Now here, if this happens to you, that's because the base has less geometry than the rest. So if I select the leaf and add a remesh modifier before the lattice, it's going to be corrected. Then I need to find a proper voxel size to keep the details, like this by example. But for now, I'm going to remove the remesh modifier. The deformation won't be looking so good for a while, but I will add the remesh modifier after adapting the lattice. So this is the adapted lattice. Let's add our remesh modifier and put it before the lattice modifier. You have to find the proper voxel size for your hardware. This is before the lattice, and this is after the lattice. The leaf is more interesting with the deformation. Mission accomplished. It will also allow us to make several variations of the leaf. Save and be happy. Now I'm going to make a flower. Top view, add mesh, plane. So I'm going to draw a side of the flower, copy it on the x-axis, scale to -1, flip. Now bridge edge loops, blend surface, like this. Okay, now I'm going to make it a bit asymmetrical. Solidify modifier, 1 millimeter. Now let's work on the z-axis and subdivision surface, level 3. The goal is to give personality to the entire flower. Let's make a copy, Shift D, and let's rotate. I can personalize each petal. Now we need the stem, the sepals, and some pistils. Add curve, bezier circle, subdivide. Let's create this kind of shape. So obviously I don't know exactly where the flower is going to go, and I will make several flowers. Okay, let's start with something curvy, more resolution, object, fill caps, organic profile. Now for design and manufacturing, I'm going to make it touch the flower. Oh, and just to mention, this is very important for designers. The designer must make everything look good, but also feel good, and not just by parts. The whole design must work. It's a holistic process. There's a lot of philosophy in design because aesthetic has been studied for millennia, and we're not the first culture to talk about design at all. So art and design and culture are all at work here, not only 3D modeling and not only jewelry design. And for me, there's not much difference between art and design. That's more personal. Add curve, busy curve, taper stem. Okay, now let's make the sepals on the back. And now I'm going to create and adapt each sepal. Now here I'm going to make something different. I'm going to add a displace modifier. I'm going to create some lines. So before that, let's add a remesh modifier. Check the voxel size and now the strength of the displace. Let's adjust this. Good. Now let's see on the texture. This is a bit sharp. Keep tweaking the values. And now I'm going to personalize the sepals. I'm going to use cubes to place the texture more specifically on the sepals. So now the texture is going to be an image. Now on the modifier, coordinates object, the object is the cube now. That works for my sepal. And this is the result for the sepals. Marble texture, image texture, and Voronoi texture. Now we need some pistils for the flower. Add mesh, sphere. Let's select the top vertex, proportional editing, and let's make subdivision surface level 3. Now we can select symmetrically here and scale. Now add curve, busy curve. Let's give it some thickness. Good, we need another taper object. Okay, and here we're going to mark a very sharp difference. And now also don't forget to readapt the curve here. Let's make a copy and adapt each one. Now we need to create a butterfly. Let's get to it. So now for the butterfly, it's time to look at the drawings because I did make a drawing before starting this video. Then this is the pastel drawing and this is the enhanced digital drawing. So I'm going to drop this one in Blender. Okay, so to model the butterfly, I'm going to use the same techniques I've showed earlier, and sometimes with very simple techniques you can do very advanced models.
All lines are busy. Please hold. All lines are busy. Please hold. All lines are busy. Please hold.
Wait, what?
All lines are busy. Please hold. All lines are busy. Please hold. All lines are busy. Please hold.
Wait, what?
So now I want to prepare the butterfly for Plique-à-jour enamel. You can also call it vitrail enamel or stained glass enamel. And that means that I want some smaller, rounder compartments in the design, thinking of real-life manufacturing.
All lines are busy. Please hold. All lines are busy. Please hold. All lines are busy. Please hold.
Wait, what?
All lines are busy. Please hold. All lines are busy. Please hold. All lines are busy. Please hold.
Wait, what?
Now the butterfly is ready for the Plique-à-jour enamels. We're also going to use the lattice modifier deform and give some more interesting curves to this butterfly. Add lattice. We're going to bring it right here. So now here I need this to be a mesh. Let's select all the elements, copy them, convert to mesh, join. Now let's go to modifier, add modifier, deform, lattice modifier. Let's select the lattice. Let's go to edit mode and let's work on the lattice.
All lines are busy. Please hold.
Wait, what?
Great, this is much nicer. And now I'm going to model the enamels. We'll need them for the rendering, that's very important. Save and be happy. So to get the shapes of the enamels, that's the inside of all the decorations, we're going to need a pretty good trick to get them really quickly, because otherwise it would be a lot of modeling time. So we're going to add a mesh plane. We're going to make it bigger than the butterfly. Apply the scale, go to edit mode, subdivide a couple of times. Now take the butterfly, make a copy, remove the lattice modifier on this copy, scale it on the z-axis. It's going to look funny, but don't worry. Hide the other butterfly. Now add a remesh modifier. Give it a nice voxel size depending the amount of details you want to keep. Select the plane again, and on the plane add a Boolean modifier, difference, fast, and select that butterfly. Let it cook, hide the cutter. This is perfect because what we want are the small alveoles on the inside. Go to edit mode, deselect everything, select the outside with L and erase it. These will be the enamels. We can bring back the butterfly, select it with shift and link modifiers. So we copied the lattice. Now add a solidify modifier to the enamels. Start searching for the correct position to be on the inside of the spaces. Here my Boolean missed a spot. Let's go to edit mode. I'm going to copy this element and adapt it to the missing space. Don't forget to check the back. Then in edit mode, we can tweak the position if necessary. Then we can also set to individual origins and scale all the elements to perfectly finish to fill the spaces here. Now I'm going to add a new material. For now, this will just be for the viewport color. I'm going to set it to blue. And so we model a Plique-à-jour enamels Art Nouveau butterfly. Save and be happy. So now I want to add a woman's face to my Art Nouveau pendant. That's a very classic figure of the style, but I'm in a hurry and the portrait wasn't planned in the drawing. So I'm going to ask Gemini to generate the woman's portrait. I'm going to ask for a side view. I don't want a front view for the face. So I only need the face and I don't want the roses in the hair. I'm going to keep this in the video. This is when AI is an absolute mess. As you can see, I asked for the roses to be removed and AI removed the entire face. So for those who are saying that AI is going to take our jobs, so you need to insist, insist, and insist. It is really tiring. AI is just one big mess, and that's to stay polite. So I'm going to save this image. Okay, so now I need to upscale the image. Okay, so here I've upscaled the image 4 times. Now I'm going to load the image in an AI mesh modeler. I'm going to ask a medium resolution because most of the time, if you want good results with the AI mesh modeler, you need to pay. It's not free. And that's why I will show how to model the woman's face from a base mesh. So maybe you can find a free model for the face. I've done that in other videos. So you should all be able to do this woman's portrait for our Art Nouveau pendant in Blender. This is the first result. I don't like the nose very much. I'm going to download the GLB and I'm going to ask for a free retry. Okay, so laugh with me. This is the second result. So as always, AI failing again and again. Okay, so finally, this is the third iteration. Let's go to File, Import GLB. Let's import the face. This is 1 inch, 2.54 centimeters. I want to flip the face to the right. Now let's go to edit mode, transparency. I'm going to delete half of the face. So now I'm going to rebuild this design for myself here in Blender, and I'm going to adapt the design to make it my own. Now add a curve, Bezier circle, edit mode, subdivide. We're going to create a profile for the hair because we're going to rebuild the model. So we need this kind of shape. Now we're going to add a mesh plane. Go to edit mode, erase the vertices, turn on the snap. It's set to face project, align rotation to target, effect, move, and rotate. The snap is on, and I'm going to start making a very simple new topology for the face. Just have enough topology to follow the general curves. Here I'm going to avoid the hair with the vertices. Then turn off the snap, select the bottom vertices, extrude on the z-axis, and scale to 0 on the z-axis to have a bottom ending here. That will help in finishing the design. subdivision. So here I'm going to add a subdivision surface modifier, 3 levels, shade, smooth. So with a very low geometry, we can already start creating the expression on the face. I'm keeping the geometry low at first. It's all going to depend the amount of detail that you want. But let's start simple. Now add a curve, Bezier curve with a nice resolution, object, fill caps. Use the profile for the hair. Now we're going to add a curve, Bezier curve. It's going to be the hair tapper. So tapper object, that curve. Now we're going to edit the tapper curve. It's just to make some smooth endings like this. So now with this, I'm going to start making a new design for the hair, and we're going to see that we're going to need different profiles. So I'm also going to create a much simpler profile here, by example, for this part. Okay, here I want to use the mean radius, but I need the taper radius to be the multiply type. So I can also use the radius in edit mode. We are here to get inspired. Here I'm going to add a mesh sphere. I'm going to use a low resolution sphere. I'm going to rotate it, and I'm going to make this as a reference here with a subdivision surface level shade smooth. And we're going to place this to help with the development of the new hair in the 3D space. So step by step, we're going to create all the details that we need. Then also we'll add a solidify modifier.
All lines are busy. Please hold. All lines are busy. Please hold. All lines are busy. Please hold.
Wait, what?
All lines are busy. Please hold. All lines are busy. Please hold. All lines are busy. Please hold.
Wait, what?
And this is the face remodeled. So it's hollow on the back. So now we have all we've wanted. The face, a Plique-à-jour enamel butterfly, a flower, and a ginkgo leaf. And with all these elements, we're ready to create an Art Nouveau 3D jewelry pendant. Now, this is already a lot of 3D modeling, so we'll make the composition in the next episode. And also we'll create the jewelry rendering and the animation. Support my channel by buying my assets on SUPERHIVE Blender Market, also supporting Blender. A lot more tutorials are coming. Have a nice day, take care, and see you soon.